What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Beck Easy.
Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Johan.
Hey, guys. It's Trell, and this is...
The Team.
Stop shaking your head.
Because, I was looking at old videos,
Johan.
and you was Joey Crack, Joanne, and then this Johan for 2020 is just...
Johan.
It's just different. I'll get used to it.
She looked like Johan today, though.
Yeah,
so
right. She's
It's appropriate.
Look at her face. What up, everybody? We are back, episode 65. This is a pull up episode.
Woo, woo.
And we're just going to be shooting the shit with you guys. And we hope you enjoy it. And, we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Right.
How was everybody's weekend?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Good. I know
Well-
that Thursday we had the Battle of the Sexes with our Podern family, the R&B podcast.
So much
that
fun.
was a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, female R&B versus male R&B. We didn't win. This is what they're saying. I beg to differ, because I was looking at the rounds,
yeah.
and I'm like, that wasn't better than. But whatever, I'm gonna give it to them. I'm not gonna be a sore loser, like how Manny was after he battled Scott Storch. Yeah, I can't do that. The aftermath.
That was in the trenches,
Right.
the beginning.
Or even 2 Chainz with Ricky Rose. He was sounding salty
Damn,
too.
I must have missed a few because
So-
I didn't watch that one either. I think
We're
I
not
missed
even
the last
gonna
few.
Right.
We just gonna take the L, but it was a really good time.
It was
had
a good time,
really good
though.
time.
So.
super fun. Our list was mad long. We had 100.
We had a 6-page letter.
We
Yeah,
did.
we had mad songs. So they're talking about doing a part 2. So
Stay tuned.
Yeah,
Stay
we'll see.
tuned.
And
And
I'm
then-
so proud of Danny and I because we thugs out here in these streets. And Danny had some input. She was like, no. Last minute we put in a
She
song,
did.
and she was like, no, this one's better. And I was having some input, even though I didn't know half the songs. But teamwork makes the dream
Teamwork
work.
makes the dream work.
Right. And we did do good because Lucky Lefty, he's like, you guys really impressed us.
I'm like, bro, you
We were like, why?
underestimating us like that?
Right. He was like, cuz all y'all do is drink Henny. Whoa.
Judgy, right?
Which, first of all, I don't even know
Judgy.
where that comes from.
Well, 3 out of the 4 of us. Well, it
Yeah.
used to be 3 out of the 4 of us drinks Henny.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, maybe we're just rough around the edges. He was like, I guess he just thought we listened to trap music.
Yeah, and there's a lot of J talk.
Right.
So
always.
maybe
Yeah.
I'm actually now that I think about it, I'm actually offended because
Out of all of us,
right.
right.
Why are you?
Because I
offended?
don't look like I drink any, so therefore he's judging a book by its
I
I look like I drink any.
maybe.
Why you make that face?
No, you look like you drink wine, which
Right.
you
I
drink wine.
look like I don't drink. I look
I
like I
de-
drink Avion water.
I definitely look like I drink.
Please.
I drink Henny for real. I'm a Henny nigga.
Water.
So yeah, that was super fun. Shout out to
Definitely.
them. Make sure you guys follow them if you want to watch the clips from it. It's on their Instagram page. Other than that, I was chilling, cooling.
Right.
I've been relaxing and just
Getting
hanging
ready for our baby.
Yeah,
Yes.
buying little stuff here and there. I guess it's nesting is what it's called.
Mhm,
Because I'm paranoid because I'm like, oh my gosh, 2 months is tomorrow.
Yeah, it's about to go, yo.
I'm scared.
Wait, did something special happen to you this weekend, Tro?
Oh yes, I suppose it did. The Brown Skin Co. is officially in business.
Yeah.
At the Track House Beauty Lounge.
Big things.
Track House
Bop,
2.
bop, bop.
TOO. Skincare services are on deck.
Yes.
And
Big
body
things.
waxing. So book me.
I got my facial and my underarms wax. It was great.
Yeah, I've been
And I
booked
got
for
my
this all
private area waxed, which was an experience. I'm like, if my friend
Yeah,
could see
she
me,
grew up.
It was her first one.
right? If
She
my
was
friend could see my private,
drama.
But we all seen each other's privates from your birthday a few years back when we all went to Spa
And
Castle.
we have no choice. It was
Yeah.
unexpected.
And it was like a nude
yeah, but
Jacuzzi.
that wasn't but we wasn't all in each other's.
This is true.
yeah,
This
because
is true.
I be all up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would never forget that time when we went to
We're
Spa
like,
Castle.
wait,
It was
we gotta
like,
be
this is
naked?
a new level of friendship.
Yeah, because I think it's because it was unexpected too. It's not like we went there knowing that
Right.
we were
Right.
gonna have to get butt ass naked in front of all these people.
Right.
We were like, oh,
And we were so confused because when you first walked into the locker room area for the ladies, everybody was naked. I'm like, well, maybe they just got out the shower. They're changing their clothes. I'm like, why is everybody butt
Maybe
ass
they're
Even like,
comfortable.
remember it was like a little kid.
kids? But yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
But
so,
yeah, shout out to you.
I've been booked and
Big
busy. That's
things.
what my weekend consisted of: working and the shopping, and I just went home.
Right. Relaxation. How about you, Julian?
My weekend was well.
You visit any friends this weekend?
Of course, I always see friends.
Oh, that's nice.
You guys Thursday, see friends here, friends there. Oh, Friday, I did go back to church. My grandmother had to preach, so it was the first time in the sanctuary.
Inside or outside?
Inside. She preached on Columbus Avenue, and you hit the door. They have a sheet, like, the questions. If you go to Yale Health Plan, they're like, have you been here? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. They take your temp on your wrist. And then they have you sign this sheet. Like Joanne Lazar was in this building. I'm like, whoa.
Keep it safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep it safe and holy.
Yeah. Social distancing in the building. And I was trying to see if they were going to trip up, but everyone had their own
When they were
mic.
shouting?
No shouting. But I'm like, okay,
No
so I
shouting.
wonder if they're sharing mics or going to pass her off the mic. But everyone had their own designated mic.
Oh, well, that's good.
So,
That's good.
it was good.
I like the paper thing. I like when we went to the battle at what is the place? Is it Bridgeport?
Bridgeport,
BPT Creates.
They had they take the temperature, but they also had like a paper with like the barcode thing that you can scan.
Yep.
And then answer your questions there, which was nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Keeping it safe, keeping everybody, letting everyone feel
The new
comfortable with
normal.
the new normal. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm tired of the mask though, I must say, but
I'm
we're
tired
dealing
of
with it.
all of it, honestly. I don't know. I'm just over it. Like the whole process of everything.
Right. It
makes you wanna just say,
Remember the
"I'ma just
mask,
stay
having
home."
this- right. It just makes
Right.
you not want to do anything.
Yeah.
And also, guys, I did go back to work this week.
Yes.
So I think my district did a phenomenal job. I was just nervous just to go back, but not really because of Corona. But we had social distancing as much as we could. But in the classroom, because that's where the most important, the classroom. There's only 4 or 3 kids in there.
Really?
It's like the cafeteria is 3 to a table. But because there's hardly any kids there, it's fine. I think it's really good. And for the learning process of the kids that are, there in the classroom, I think it's better because people learn better in the smaller groups. However, group B that's home while group A is home, it's in school. That's what I worry about. Like, are they really going to do their work or, because we have to change up the formula of the work because, you're not in the building. But
so they don't have it where they can see into the
no,
class?
we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna do as it progresses because right now it's still the beginning, so you're not really doing anything,
Right.
and they don't want them to go hard into the work yet.
You're just trying to feel out the vibes and
so sooner or later they're gonna when A is in the building, they're gonna live stream so B can see.
Okay.
That
works.
So that's what school work looks like for me.
Yeah.
So
I see my
they did
coworker. Her twins started kindergarten, her other child started 2nd grade, and before school started, they had all the kids come to the school and walk with their hands in the front of them so they knew what social distancing was. So for a kindergartner, they don't really know because they've never been in school regularly. So it was okay
this
for
is what it's
them.
supposed to be.
Yeah, and they had the
Which is good.
box, the 3-sided box with each desk. So I mean, shout out to the districts that are actually trying
Making
to
an effort.
right to make sure that this gets done, but still gets done safe and as much as possible and effectively.
Yeah, since y'all mentioned that, I'm gonna go right ahead and say what my rooting is because I'm just rooting for all of the students that are heading back to school, that are doing remote, and the teachers and staff too, because it's a lot. It's a very difficult time for everybody involved, and I'm just rooting for you guys to get it done. You're gonna have a successful year, regardless of the obstacles that are in front of us. And this is honestly, I feel like it's just teaching the children how to be flexible and how to adapt when shit happens.
Right. Because
this is only the beginning. Because as you get older, shit just gonna be happening.
It's true.
I'm just rooting for you guys. It's gonna be a great year in spite of all of that's going on.
Yeah, I read remember Mr. P Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Mr. Paulishin, he was a teacher of ours at Hill House. His wife had posted and said, yesterday was the hardest first day of school I have had in my 18 years of teaching. It wasn't the kids, parents, principals, or other teachers. It was because I didn't believe in myself. The technology did fail. The sound on my personal laptop wasn't working. We switched to a Chromebook and made it through the day. Today was much better. I still wish I was with my kindergartners singing, dancing, doing yoga, and of course, learning on our polka dot classroom rug. But thank you to Carol and the primary teachers at Edgewood, Sarah for always being there for me, Kim for jumping in and helping me with technology. So shout out to all the teachers who are
Make it the best.
this is like new for them. Yeah, like when you never did technology like that, is so to be able to adapt and all of them working together to make it happen. It was dope to read. So
yeah,
that's good. Joe, you got a line?
I do. This is one of the songs we played in our verses. So
that narrows it down.
I thought that love was you. I thought you were the answer to the question in my mind, but it seems like I was wrong. If I stay strong, maybe I'll find my.
Say it again.
Yeah.
I thought that love was you. I thought that you were the answer to the question in my mind, but it seemed that I was wrong. If I stay strong, maybe I'll find my.
Like, it's like on the tip of my tongue.
And I think it's messing me up because she's bopping next to me. So I'm like, well, what is the beat of it? I know exactly what it is.
I know it. Like, it's on the tip of my tongue. And I hear like the melody
me
a
too.
little bit in my head.
I give up.
I don't know. I'm having a blank.
We played a lot.
Just say anything.
It's not Sweet Love.
The first thing that was in my mind was
Love.
My First Love. But did we even have
It's
that?
love.
Do it again.
I thought that love was you. I thought you were the answer to the question in my mind, but it seemed that I was wrong. If I stay strong, maybe I'll find my.
Sweet.
It's
Mary J.
I know what it is.
It's Mary J.
Real love.
Okay.
Why didn't you sing it from the beginning?
Right. Like she be cutting in like mid verse. That shit weird.
No, it's the game. My nigga.
Like it's on the tip of my tongue. I can hear the melody, but it just is not working. Okay.
We just steady humming like, oh yeah, it's real
love.
Yes.
Mary J.
Shout out to Mary J. We're gonna get into a little love convo later on too, because Black Love Doc premiered last night on OWN.
Right, that kind
for 2 hours. It was really good. I was like, I'm turning this shit off. But we'll get into that. So I have the You Tried It of the week. And it actually is going to Danny because so we had the versus battle, right? Cool. And so I'm like, y'all, I made a document in Google Docs. Add some artists and people songs that you want to add. And I go up there and that joke said Destiny's Child, Soldier, Sierra, Level Up. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, who added these? So I deleted them.
I think it was me though.
We had to be one of y'all.
So I tweeted and I was like, I'm not even gonna snitch on who was adding hip hop songs onto the list. But and I really thought it was Joe. I thought it was Joe.
I really thought it was Joe too.
It wasn't until we got to the battle. Danny was like, I mean, ain't they R&B? She's like, I don't fucking know.
Even I knew, like,
yo, it was so funny
not to do that.
I read that shit. I was like, what is
but Danielle made up for it.
She did.
She did with the old school songs with the Sade.
Yeah.
What else you added up there? Stephanie Mills. And that's stuff that we didn't even get to touch. Like,
right. I really hope we go through with part 2.
Yeah, honestly, because that playlist is solid as food.
Word.
But yeah, so I had to give it to Danny.
That's funny, yo. I definitely thought it was Joe too. Though.
I did too.
And then this chick, I shared the tweet and was like, "Take a wild guess." She's talking about you, like, nigga, you know me better
now
than that.
You know, right. Marcus thought it was you too.
I know the nerve.
But yeah, that was the You Tried It. But other than that, we can just get right into our topics. So there were many topics on social media that we ran across.
Yeah.
The first one I want to bring up is the spousal and child support convos that I've been seeing so often. So, Future's newest baby mother is wanting child support.
Haitian queen.
Shout out to the Haitian queen. She's wanting child support. I guess his accountant is stating that he only makes $30,000 a year. Was it a year or monthly? Whatever. He said roughly $30,000. So they are estimating that she will get $3,500 a month. She's saying that that's not enough money. There's claims that she says she wanted $53,000, but when I seen her post, she said, "I'm not saying $53,000, but my kids should be able to live the life that their parent is living, be able to go to private school, go and experience vacations and things like that." Which is true. You're not about to be in the strip club popping bottles of Ace of Spades for thousands of dollars, and you're not trying to.
Yeah.
And it's a celebrity kid. Like, your kid can't go to Hill House or somewhere regular. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they know that this kid is of a certain level or their parent is such and such. There's certain places they can't go. There's certain schooling that they can't just accept. So what are your thoughts about the whole conversations on that and spousal? Because Dr. Dre's wife, I guess, is asking for $2 million a month. Now, this is a little different. Yeah. Child support versus spousal is a little bit different to me. $2 million a month in spousal support. The breakdown goes: laundry and cleaning is $10,000 a month. Clothes is $135,000 a month. Education, tuition, and living expenses, which her kids are grown, they said, so I don't know. $60,000 a month. Entertainment, $900,000 a month. Charitable contributions, $125,000 a month. Mortgage is $100,000 a month. Telephone, cell phone, and email is $20,000 a month. I think I see somebody said T-Mobile probably do cost $20,000 a month. That's stupid. So, what is your take on either?
I agree with you that there is a very big difference between the child support and spousal support. First of all, that spousal support list, like, to me, it honestly sounds like a joke.
Right.
Like somebody just made it up just to be funny, because it's like, right.
That's half of the money on entertainment.
$900,000 on entertainment in a month.
In a month.
And then the one that said like email and stuff like that. First of all, Google is free. Yahoo's free. Like, all the email services are free. So
yeah, but she probably has some cyber email so she won't get hacked. That costs
maybe. And even if you got like a whole email subscription thing, it ain't costing you that much money a month.
No.
Like, so some of that to me just sounds like BS.
Right. But we're talking about a husband that is worth
$1 billion.
And I get it. I get him being worth that money. So you get the money that you deserve. But it's the breakup from the breakup part. Of why I need the money is like,
breakdown is OD.
Why are you spending that much on this one particular thing in a month?
Right.
That's just the funny part for me. I feel like it's fake. Like, is it legit?
They probably needed to justify why she's asking that much, so they just was shooting anything. Like, well, let's just put this there and let's just put there.
That just sounds so crazy to me. But the child support thing, I feel like kids, until you have a kid, you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Kids cost and stuff come up out of the blue all the time.
Yeah.
Schools be last minute. I don't know. AJ been in school. He in a freshman now. Mm-hmm. I swear every year, picture day shows up like 2 days before it's time for picture day.
Right.
Like last minute as fuck. So child support, I feel like get these mothers what they asking for, because honestly, they the ones that truly know what it's costing them,
right?
Because they are the ones that are taking care of the kid 24/7,
and vice versa. Like, I've seen dads who are like full-time fathers.
Whoever the woman needs to pay is, if they're asking for this amount of money to take care of their child, I feel like just give it,
right? Because it is a lot. And people are on social media like $3,500 is more than enough to take care of a kid. And they're looking at it from their standpoint, because you work in a 9 to 5 and getting minimum wage. So it's like, oh my God, $3,500, that's mad money. She don't need all that money. You're not talking about somebody who has
because
money.
It's gonna go up the income. So if their income is up here, then that money is gonna be up here regardless if they need it or not.
Right.
So that right there, I feel like should be a non-issue. We can't be sitting here trying to dictate who should get how much. Like, they ain't got nothing to do with us
at all,
because we don't know their finances.
And that's what I wrote. I was like, y'all still putting y'all 2 cents in with y'all regular 9 to 5 jobs, huh? But child support is always going to be a percentage of what the parent that's paying it out makes.
Right.
It's always been that way. It's never going to change.
Right.
Like, just get over it. Right. Like, and it was like people who be complaining about their $200 a month that had something to say on there, and I'm like, let me just shut up, because I'm not even gonna get into it.
Right.
But I feel like just pay the money. Like, you want a divorce, you want your peace of mind. Like, Jeff Bezos, he wrote that check. He was like, yo, I don't even care. And he's worth what? Like $2.5 billion. And he was like, yo, I can give her half. She has half of his worth.
Well, no problem.
Michael Jordan's wife, he was just like, yo, let me just give you half.
Straight.
Who got one of the best divorce settlements? I think it was
recent, like, right?
No, I think in history. It's Donald Trump's first wife. She got like the best. Like, just cut the check and just, because honestly, I really think it's not more about.
It's the time invested.
Yeah, it's the time. They've been together over 20 years. Just give her. She's adapted a lifestyle. Just give her the money and go.
Allegedly was smacking her up.
Right. Allegedly smacking all his ladies
and that's
up.
the thing, right? Like, if we're divorcing, this marriage is ending because of some shit you did, then you need to pay it.
That too.
And I think that's what it is. Men be like, they want to stab it to you. Like, I'm not giving you this money. So you go through this whole drawn out thing. It's honestly easier just to pay and just walk away with your piece.
Right.
You gonna make that money back.
And I will say though, as the women, you should be working as well. Like, you shouldn't just solely.
She's a lawyer.
Yeah, she's a lawyer.
I agree.
But has she been working
so many
as a lawyer?
Those people that are in those like situations where they're married to like a high profile person and then
you can't work.
Don't work. I want you to stay home and
That's
take care of you.
Yeah, pay me.
Because a lot of these people have degrees and stuff that they can do, but they just aren't doing it because they're so focused on
it's true.
their husbands.
Yeah. And making sure you're the perfect wife.
Right. And raising the kids.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And then it's like, how do you jump from not working for 20 something years and being a wife and a mom to, all right, well, boom, you just got to get back into, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's an adjustment.
Especially a lawyer too. Like,
if
it's the other way around. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Danny asked, what if it's the other way around?
Well,
like Mary J. Blige and her husband and Wendy Williams and her husband.
So Mary J. Blige and her husband, he was working for her.
He was working for her.
So you gonna
and Adele.
You might get
about that.
You might get your little salary. I'm gonna give you your salary for the duration of this year, and then you can go because he cheated.
Right.
Because once you cheated and had a kid on me, don't deserve
That's
nothing.
the difference for me because I feel like other way around it should still be the same. Like if we're divorcing. You got the income, then pay the money. But it is like crazy when it's like you got to pay all this money and we're divorcing because you did some fuck shit.
Right. And right when you get a divorce, I don't know how it works, but whoever stepped out is the one that was wrong, right?
Right.
So technically I shouldn't have to pay you because you the one that fucked up.
Right. That's how I feel.
Especially if it's in the prenup. Oh, no.
Right.
Like, I'm going to pay you the rest of your salary and then I'm going to pay you the rest of your salary and then you can go in peace. Wendy Williams, he was he was her manager too.
Yeah.
And then he have a baby on her too?
Yes.
But you know what? And it's so crazy because look at the situations. Like when it's a woman that's making the money, they hiring their spouse. But on the other end, they not hiring their spouse. You just sitting there and being cute.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't that
weird? And they
don't
don't want to give me money when you
after the fact. Yeah.
I think the guys want to be in the mix and they want to be in your world because they want to see who's around you. They can't trust nobody around you. They don't want you to like
be out.
Right. They don't want you to feel like, oh, you might meet somebody in your field and be like, fall in love with them. Because
they want you to be like isolated.
Right.
Yeah.
Some.
Disclaimer. Not all.
Disclaimer, some. Because you know we're going to get knocked out like, yo, y'all stay man.
Not everybody.
Right. Not everybody, but some.
But yeah. And like the child support thing for Future, you know, she first originally only asked for I think $400. It was like a low amount. Yeah. It was a low amount.
And then he tried to be funny.
And then the courts, like she broke it down, the courts go and look into how much you make. So they determined $53,000.
Right. And that's
would be suitable.
Don't realize.
It's not even something that she requested. And then they came with the $3,000 or
because they said, they said Future only makes $30,000 a year, but Future LLC is totally separate from him.
Right. And I'm sure the other BMs are not really receiving child support. He's just making sure they have. It's just because he doesn't like this BM why it's such a struggle. Right. That's all. He don't like her.
But right when you get to a certain amount of kids, you don't even have to pay child support no more. I know. I think it's like if you have like 7 or more kids.
That depends on what you make, right? Shouldn't it?
Nah,
if you don't,
that's true.
Right.
If you can't take care of 7, okay, yeah, that's true.
I don't know, because I know somebody that has 7 kids. I got somebody that's doing 14. They back child support was like $87,000.
Right. Oh my gosh. So. I know somebody had 14 kids and they don't have to pay child support no more because they have too many kids.
Because he won't have any money to live.
It's just
it's
not
impossible. Everybody
all.
will get $1 a month.
That's sad.
That's crazy. But yeah, but stop fucking all these chicks and getting them pregnant. Like, if you're going to have sex, whatever.
And take care of your kids, because if you're taking care of your kids, then child support is a non-issue. Because if you're taking care of your kids,
not when you have 14.
And homegirls say, oh, he not doing nothing, and you got proof, keep your receipts.
Yeah, that's
true. Keep your receipts.
Because I know a guy that the girl was like, oh, he ain't doing nothing.
If you know you're dealing with somebody that's on the loose end. Document what you're doing, because if you're taking care of your kid, nobody's gonna say you gotta pay child support because you're taking care of your child.
I knew one dude that was giving his girl like $500 a week, and she was like, that's still not enough, because she was mad that he'd moved on and had a different girlfriend. Went to the court. The court said only like $100 a week.
Right? Because
and he was like, now I'm gonna only pay $100. I'm gonna still make sure when I have him, he gonna be straight. But now I'm only give you $100.
I do get it. You do have a lot of females that use child support as a weapon.
Yep.
But then you do have some that are asking for it, and it's justifiable.
Right. Because they really need it.
Because they need it, and because the father ain't doing shit. Right. And that's both ways, because like you said, you do have, there are plenty of fathers who are full-time dads.
And I be looking like, yo, how as a mom can you just
dip off?
Yo, we know one person, and she went and had a whole nother kid with somebody else, and like, they all are local. They're 5 minutes away from each other. Like, how? And their father holds them 2 kids down completely. Like, that's crazy. But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, ladies, just make your own money. Honestly. It's easier that way. If you are with a man and he don't want you to work, we gotta put something right.
We still gotta do something.
Yeah, still gotta have a hustle. Something. Sell nutcrackers or something. You gotta do something.
That's how I feel about myself. Like, if my husband was like, I want to take care of you, I don't want you to work, I'm cool with that, but I won't work. But I am gonna be doing something on the side where I make that has my name on it, and that I'm making my own money.
Absolutely.
Just because that's what I want to do.
Right.
I'm gonna still work. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, like I can't see just not doing nothing at all.
Yeah. And you know what's so funny, because I watched Love and Marriage Huntsville on OWN. That's been like my thing. And so Mel and Martell, they're married, and they have this company. And so he's like running the company. She had a year where she wasn't really doing much. So now she had a baby, and then in 6 weeks she opened up her makeup line and acting and doing mad stuff. He's like, yo, you are too busy. Like, you need to slow it down. You don't have to do everything. And so she was like, but when I wasn't doing anything, that was your justification to cheat on me and do your little extracurricular activities. He's like, I know, and I'm at fault for that. She was like, and then a few years back, you said, where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? I said, either acting or hosting something. Those doors are opening for me now, and now you saying that I'm not here. She was like, it's not like I'm traveling for 2 weeks and then coming back for 2 weeks and I'm not here. She was like, I come home every single night. I make sure these kids' clothes are ready, wash. Like, I'm still physically here, but you still saying that I'm forgetting about you. And she was like, I'm not a yo-yo. You're not going to tell me hustle, grind, get it. And then, no, I don't want you to. She was like, I'm a human being. Like, you're not about to pick and choose when it's convenient. And a lot of even other couples on the show is a lot of people who the guy is like, oh, well, you doing too much. It's like, where do you, as a woman and as a wife and as a mom, are you able to find the balance?
Mm-hmm. And what is doing
like
too
what
much?
Is good enough?
What is doing too much? Because if my duties, quote unquote duties, are being taken care of, I'm still taking care of my child. I'm still being the wife. I'm still cooking and doing what I need to do at home. What is doing too much? Right. Like, why don't you want me to have something that's my own? Have something that brings me joy outside of being a mom and a wife?
Right. Exactly. And it's so funny because you dropped this clip from a conversation that we had back in February where Joanne just felt like she had to have everything together first, because once she gets married and have kids, that's all it's about. And we were like, no, it doesn't. And Nell did say there's nothing wrong with that. Right. But I just know too many people that submerge themselves in their kids and their husband, and then they get disappointed, or the kids grow up and leave, and then it's like, damn, like, who am I? Like, what do I do now?
But I'm thinking about that now. Sorry to cut you off. real quick, I'm thinking about that now. I feel like a big part of that too is that's who you were before you even got married. Like
that's
if you
true.
didn't have a sense of self before you even got married.
And that's a fact.
Cause like, how do you? I just can't see myself getting into a relationship and feeling like this is the end all be all and forgetting about everything else.
Right.
So yeah, and when I watched that clip, I'm like, oh. But I knew exactly what I was saying. I was saying that prior to me getting into a relationship, I want to make sure I do everything that makes me happy and me whole before I get into it, because I know how life gets crazy and you're just so consumed with the household that you may forget your goals and everything you set out for yourself. So before I bring this little human into the world, I want to make sure I do everything that makes me happy and make me whole before my child or my husband's happiness becomes like a priority for me. Yeah. And that's basically what I was saying. Yeah. So, and I still think that way because like I know when I have kids, it's like, you're like my little pride and joy and da 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 da. You're like your happiness is like my only concern. Da 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 da. I mean, of course, I'm still gonna be me. I'm still gonna have a life, but
But are you? If that's your only concern, because I feel like what you're saying, I totally get it. But you're doing things that make you happy and bring you joy. That's something that needs to happen before, during, and after.
Right.
Like that,
exactly.
But I'm talking about I know
self-care. Like
but I'm talking about like the main things that I set out for myself. I want to complete beforehand, before I start a new life.
But there's still things that you can do.
I know, but once you progress, things, your goals and stuff change. So the goal I have, I want to complete before I open this next step in my life.
But those next steps in life might push you to go even harder for the goal that you have.
Right.
Prime example. Let's see. What can I say about you?
you weren't
I won't even do it to you. I'm not going to do it to you. But I will say, when we watched the Black Love documentary, the guy was saying like, I've loved her since she was 15, 16. I knew I wanted to marry her. And he said, I thought that giving her a ring would buy me more time because I still wanted to be financially set in order to be able to provide for her. And she wasn't having it. She was like, I'm not about to be engaged for no 2 years while you... Nope. I respect that you want to take care of me. She was like, but when you give someone a ring, that means you're saying that you're ready right then and there to start this life together, not let me wait 2 years. Right. He was like, but I live in a studio in LA. I'm trying to be an actor. She was like, none of that matters. And he said, as soon as they got married, that's when his life lifted up. Like he excelled in all the things that he thought he had to do first before getting married. When now we're married and he's gotten to where he needed to be because of the marriage and because of the partnership and her helping and X, Y, and Z. So you literally, I was texting Joe yesterday. I'm like, see, you be blocking your blessings because he just said like, that can be your blessing to get you to where you need to be.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
And you see a lot of people who say, oh, I'm going to go back to school, but they never really go. And then when they have this kid, it's like, damn, I really need to bust it down and do what I need to do. And then they get it done. So sometimes those things actually help you get to where it is that you want to be.
To talk about the school thing, for example, it could be like, okay, now I do have this child and I do have this husband now, but I have this husband now to help with this child. So now I have the time to actually do school.
Absolutely.
So I agree with that 100%. Like, you just never know. And I feel like you just can't have that.
Joe funny.
And this is for anybody in general. I just feel like you can't have that mindset and let that be blocking you from allowing yourself to invite love in or elevate and do whatever it is that you need to do in life.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you're always going to feel like you don't have it all together.
Always.
You're always gonna if you're a person that is about growth and just always leveling up and doing better, you're always going to feel like you're not there.
It's not enough. Right. It's always not going to be enough.
Right.
You could get a whole $10,000 increase in salary and you still be like, this still not enough. Because it always ends up not being enough.
Right. Until you get to where you are truly happy.
Right. And true happiness is not about, financial things.
It's not.
Absolutely.
It's not at all. Especially like look at now with like COVID and like people like losing their jobs and not being able to, like, a lot of like self-employed people are not being able to like do stuff. Like it's a lot
real
more
life.
than that. It's a lot more than the financial and having a business or having all this income and all of that.
Yeah.
It's so much more than that.
But I think in life we put so much on
emphasis on those things.
Mm-hmm.
Those things, yeah, and not like spending quality time and making sure that I'm at peace with myself and our mental health and all those type of things. We just are we think that money brings happiness.
Right.
Now I'm not saying that
it's gonna bring some happiness now.
Or it helps.
It
We're not
helps.
saying that it doesn't help the situation.
Right, but it's not the main source of
And
your
all be
happiness.
all.
Right.
Like you be seeing, and then I be seeing like people that are homeless and they be in a relationship and they just be so in love at the bus stop. I'm like, dang, like they literally have nothing.
Right. Because like I just said with COVID, when it comes down to stuff like this, it's like, what do you have? Are you just going to be miserable completely?
Right.
Because I mean, granted, not being able to work, especially if you love your job or love what you do, and not being able to, and not knowing like where your income is coming from and being secure, I get that. But still being able to say, you know what, I'm with my family and I'm just happy being with my family and us spending more time together.
Yep.
That's important.
Family Zooms. Like my family would have never did that. And like all my family from Jersey, Cali, like we all get on the Zooms and it's a good time. It's like we would have never thought about this had everything just been life as usual.
I'm telling you, COVID pushed me to do a lot of shit.
Yes, and we're very proud of you.
Yes.
Getting ish done.
So yeah, Joe, don't block your blessings because I feel like one is just knocking at the door.
I hear you, sis.
I do too. And I'm just like, you know.
I hear you, sis. Rebecca,
you know what
Rebecca really, what Rebecca really wants to do right now is tell my business.
No, I'm
and
not.
share.
I respect you more than that.
And share a conversation.
That.
And
no. I would never do that.
Right.
Who you know you speak? I ain't Danny. Yo, that's so
Danny
funny.
can't hold. She just can't help it.
You have to let Danny know, like, listen, don't bring this up. But if it's just regular conversation and it just ends up being regular conversation again, I ain't know that it was supposed to be a secret.
Right.
Technically.
Right.
So another topic that I seen on social media is Pastor John Gray apparently got caught out yet again. If you know, like maybe was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, I didn't even know about the first time.
Yeah, sometime a while ago he got exposed for, you know, having an emotional relationship with someone. He claimed that it was emotional. The lady said that they was having sex.
It was both of them.
Infidelity. So
right under that umbrella.
Right. So he got exposed for that. He went to the front of the church and, you know, it was like a subtle, like, I'm not going to say it was me, but I'm going to also say that I love my wife. And the wife was going hard too. Like, you know what, women, you're the main, basically you the main chick, blah, 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 whatever. So anyway, last few weeks, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, someone by the name of Mary exposed him with, I don't know, out of all names, Mary had a little lamb. And so she basically had FaceTimes of him saying like, oh, the son was in the back like, oh, son, what you eat every day? He was like, pizza. He was like, yeah, that's what happens when you don't got nobody at home cooking. You know, Then he had another FaceTime where he showed the private jet and then was like, oh, pack your 2-piece. We going to Cabo. You got an hour to get ready. Then it was another FaceTime where it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cook you brisket, or he was asking her to cook it or whatever. It sounded mad blazing.
I haven't eaten yet today.
After I watched that, I tweeted that. I'm like, damn, I kind of want some brisket and some rice and beans. But anyway, brisket and And so the lady was saying how her brother's a pastor. His wife had died. So Pastor John Gray was cool with
the lady
pastor.
He was apparently
Mary.
cheating.
Her brother, her sister-in-law died. And Pastor John Gray was friends with her brother, came to the funeral, She had posted something and he had commented. She was like, you know, thank you for supporting my brother during this time. Then he like asked where she worked in the DMs and she told him. And then next thing you know, he called her salon and she said, I shouldn't have done this. But she was like, well, because he says, oh, I want to, you know, throw something for your brother for his birthday. He's been going through a lot this year. She's like, oh, okay, cool. Here's my personal phone number. We could talk about it after I get off. And then that's kind of how it led to what it led to. Yeah. And so now he like had a Sunday service and it was like dark and like the white light was only on him. He was the only person on the stage by himself.
Drama.
He just was saying this is repentance, not remorse. Remorse is when I'm upset that you found out, but repentance is really me being sorry for my actions, and I'm still a man trying to learn myself. I went, you know how it's always, well, I was going through something and that's why I did it. So but the wife wasn't doing the whole, I'm gonna support my husband. It was like, and I'm sorry. I hope that we get back to the joy that we once had. And Like, when is enough for y'all?
Yeah.
Or your thoughts about the situation? Because mind you, this is a man in leadership too,
right?
In church,
you're setting an example,
right? Because they said that he was doing marriage counseling for LaToya Luckett and her husband because he cheated on her.
Yes. And he was actually trying to counsel Tiny and Tip.
You liar.
And it's like, how you gonna because on the show,
okay.
He was there and Tiny was there. She was like, I really like you guys. Me and my husband should and when she told Tip was like, nah.
Because he already knew.
He knew the vibes.
He liked me. He liked me.
Yeah. Like something ain't right in my spirit.
My thing is, it's another level. When you're average people and you're living your life and you're cheating on your wife, that's one thing. But when you are in kingdom and you are committing adultery, one, what that caused to your marriage and what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So it's another level. And it's harder to get out of that. And you're a leader. It's just, that's heavy. That's heavy stuff because day in and out, you're guiding people to not give into their flesh.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're behind closed doors and you can't take that same advice to not give into your flesh. Why aren't you taking the advice that you're giving the marriage people? And not even taking the advice, but going the extra mile. If you're telling them to, sit down, talk to your wife, like, babe, why don't you cook? If she can't cook, you can afford a cook. You can afford a chef.
Right.
So why aren't you taking the extra steps to fix those things in your marriage? Like, you're a counselor and you're telling people, like, take the extra step. Why aren't you taking multiple extra steps?
Because it might be a reson why she just blatantly stopped cooking.
Right.
Like, she could be going through something mentally that you don't even know nothing about.
And find out. Like, I just think when it's leadership, it's so much harder. And I think some leaders don't even care because it's so easy for them and they get so wrapped up into the life of the power. Mm-hmm. Like, women are throwing themselves at you because you have that power and you're a man of God and the anointing and all this other stuff. Like, you need to
say it like that.
I know all this other stuff.
Like, you got to remain humble and remember it's not about you.
And it can all be taken away from you
like
at any
that.
minute.
It's not about you. It's all about Christ. And you have to remember when you get up to that podium every day, you die daily.
Right.
And leaders have a whole different level of accountability than the sheep
people.
Because now you have the lady's blood on her hands. If she ever was like, you know what, like, because of you,
right? Like, he opened the door,
right? Because of you, I don't believe in Christ or marriage. Or now her blood is on your hand, and your wife's blood is on the hands, and all the people that trusted you to counsel them, like, blood is on. It's just so risky.
That's how I feel. Like, I do feel because leaders, Pastor John Gray, he's still a human. I get it. Right. But I think for me, if I was his wife, I think that would be a big thing for me because it's like you got me out here. Not only am I looking stupid and you playing me, but you're
defending you
spreading this word. You're supposed to be spreading the word and being an example. And it's like you are not even taking your role as a man of God seriously.
Let alone my husband.
Or the father of my children. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I don't know. And then for it to be a second time, like I said, I totally get he's still a human at the end of the day. First time is no excuse, but okay. Learn from your actions and do better. But to do it, stand up in front of everybody and apologize and do all this stuff,
and
just to turn around and do the same thing again.
You're getting more sloppy.
Yeah. He thought FaceTime. He thought you couldn't record the FaceTime.
You opened the door. Why are you asking her these questions?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? You're opening the door.
Right. It wasn't even like she threw herself and you got tempted.
Right. And you were tempted because the flesh is weak.
Yeah.
I know.
This is
my
true.
flesh is weak.
Yeah. Listen.
But you open the door. Like, you open the door.
I get so weak.
And like you said, it makes a lot of people that already have all of this doubts and the pushback with Christianity and being in the church and all this stuff, you just making it even worse. Like, this is why they don't believe it or want to acknowledge it or support it or be in this life, because it's so many people in leadership that have made these mistakes.
Right.
Quote unquote mistakes.
And my thing is like, damn, I just lost my train of thought. My thing is, these are only 2 times where you got caught.
That part.
We don't know how many times or what you've done where it just got swept under the rug, or the girl was like, I'm not going to put him out on Front Street. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and that's always been my thought process, like with relationships and the guy stepping out or whatever. This is the only time that you got caught. Now, it'd be different if you said, look, wife, look, honey, like, I really got to tell you something. It's not going to be something that you like to hear, but I feel conflicted in my spirit because I know I did wrong. Mm-hmm. That's different. Mm-hmm.
All right,
I don't want to hear the apologies after somebody else done came and gave me the information.
I would respect that.
I can appreciate that. And not to say that I'm going to not be mad or that I might not ask for a divorce or whatever. However, I can appreciate that and I respect you a lot more when you come to me.
Right.
And we can have this conversation and figure it out together versus me finding out on the street.
Absolutely.
I've always said that.
Don't have me looking stupid.
Right.
That's just the number one rule. Don't have me looking dumb. Right. Other than that, I'll be good.
Cheating. I don't understand cheating. I feel like there's no excuse for it. I don't care if she is the worst wife in the world. Communicate. And if the communication ain't working, leave. Get
There's
a separation.
So many other options.
It's not like once you get married, granted, once you get married, nobody wants to get a divorce.
Right.
But it's not like that's not an option.
This is true.
Like, you have that option.
So do you think that because our generation is more like, oh, we'll leave and it's an option, do you think that's the reason why marriage isn't that exclusive as it once was?
No, because when I say leave,
you can separate.
I'm not saying like just give up. I'm work for it, obviously, but I do feel like, because granted, when I get married, I don't want to get divorced.
Right.
And I can't sit here and say that if my husband cheats the first time, or even if he cheats the second or third time, then I'm gonna leave. I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm not married.
Right.
However, I'm just saying, like, if I feel like I am about to do something that's going to further jeopardize my relationship, then I'm just gonna leave, or we're gonna get separated. We're gonna go to counseling. What are we gonna do to make it work?
Right. Oh, I just tweeted
because really, it's something to do with me.
Right.
So I need to press pause.
Right.
And figure out what's going on in this tempo, so that way we can come back and reconnect. And while you're apart, you can, figure out what's going on with you. But I need to work on myself right now.
Right.
And I can't do that being one. Right. So I need to unplug and get back to me and get back to the woman you loved, and so I can get back to the man I love.
And I it's so funny because when I was watching Love and Marriage, she was saying, like, that year when you stepped out, she was like, the only person that was able to get me through that journey was me. Mm-hmm. Like, I had to make sure that I was good during that situation. Mm-hmm. Not asking you or what did I do, this, that, and the third. She said I had to make sure that I was good. At the end of the day, I had to make sure I was straight.
Right.
Because you clearly ain't worrying about if I'm straight or not, because you're the one that did the action. So it took for me, myself, to say, like, what do I need to do for myself to make sure that, one, I'm sane, two, I'm not bringing it back up if we are saying we're going to move forward, and then you steady throwing it in my face. Like, there's so many elements to it.
Right.
I don't know, bro. That cheating shit is...
Cheating is like, whoa, but cheating while in ministry,
is like
that
crazy.
Is double. That is double.
Because it's not just like you're messing up your marriage.
Right.
Like, it's a lot of other
and
people
so many people
affected.
are looking up to you. I remember Rebecca always uses this example of how, she has wonderful leaders in the gospel, and they were a dynamic duo. And the husband always made sure he was walking in line of Christ. Like, you're not going to see me out with no woman. Nope. I'm not praying for I'm not laying hands on no woman. My wife is here. I'm just doing everything I can so that the perception won't look like what someone else might think.
I can't even name it amongst you because there's no, even if it's something innocent like, oh, let me pray for you, put my hand on your forehead. Nope. Hey, you come just so, because people, there are people that lie, and that's a whole nother element to it.
Right. So
it's like, I'm not even going to give you the tools and the resources for you to even say that it might be something.
I'm not going to let the enemy trying to step in.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to shut that down.
Yeah. Right. And, I love those men of God because they know.
Rare.
They know.
It's so rare.
And they know that the flesh is weak.
Very rare. The flesh is weak.
The flesh is weak.
The flesh is weak. Look at MLK. We think MLK is like this, wow. Like such a, and he was a prophet.
Yeah.
He was a prophet, and God did send him reverend, and the flesh was weak.
Like, right. So I get it. Like, I get it. But it's just like, come on. Like, the first time is not okay, but it's just like, okay, let's move forward.
Right.
But I'm just like floored because I didn't know about the first time. Now I didn't see any of that, but I'm just like floored at the fact that we're here again.
And you could tell the difference because, like I said,
and now you have my son.
And then you have my son in the mix. Oh, that's violation. And that too
is like, first of all, you sound like a child. That to me just sounds very childish.
It was DiGiorno's, by the way.
He was so petty. Oh. If I was his wife, I would have to throw something.
I would have been so livid. Like,
but yeah, I would have been so mad at that too because it's like, okay, it's one thing for you to be doing that, but don't involve my child.
But that's what niggas do.
Don't make it about me.
They make
like,
you.
Don't make it about
right.
me.
Like if you just want to smash her, just say I want to mess with you. Don't make it because that's how it is. They make it seem like they're the victim, that they're in this horrible situation, that they can't leave for some reason, and they add in kids, and then it makes the other girl say, "Oh, well, I'm doing better because listen, look, I made brisket. Like, this ain't just better than DiGiorno."
Right. Whole time, sis ain't got half of what's going on with you and your wife. Like, and that's what guys fail to realize too. Is like the grass be looking so green on this side. But of course it does because the grass on this side is getting walked on every day. Is not getting cut because we busy.
Yeah.
Sis over here got all the time in the world.
All the time in the world. Good. Right.
You better maintain that grass.
Right.
Because her grass is probably fake the whole time.
Right. And
you can hire somebody to maintain your grass.
This is true.
So,
this is so cute. She got somebody maintaining her grass so it looked like the grass is good, but the whole time she's not doing it on her own.
Right.
She got somebody else doing it.
Right. That's why I strongly feel like there is no excuse ever for cheating on anybody's part because I feel like there's so many
chicks out here too. There's
so many steps that leads up to it. The act actually happening
for you to say stop. Let me stop.
For you to like catch yourself.
I'm already hot. Like I'm married and I just caught my husband cheating.
Because like when you see other women go through it, it's just like, dang, like I feel bad.
Right. Yeah.
But I just be minding my business.
I don't know if you guys remember our first episode, and one of the questions was if you saw your friend's man cheating.
Yeah. I remember that.
Would you tell? I remember. I think I was the only one. I said no.
You was the only one. You
were the only one. And now, within the last 2.5 years, I'm in agreement. I ain't saying nothing.
Did you change your answer?
I changed it.
Oh,
I don't think so because I don't think so. I haven't honestly, I have not thought about it, but I don't. In this moment, I don't think so. I still feel like, depending on who it is, first of all, I'm not saying it to anybody, just anybody.
Right.
Like, if it's y'all, I'm going to let y'all know. And I just feel like either y'all going to hear me or y'all not.
Even with somebody close, I've learned to mind my business, and the information will come out when it's supposed to come out, when God wants it revealed.
Done in the dark will always come out.
I personally don't have any situation personally where I've had to do that and it went wrong. So that's part of it too. Like I really can't speak to it. So
I've been in too many mixy mess. And
I feel like if I'm coming to you as we have a relationship.
It don't even matter.
If I'm coming to you and letting you know something, and you get mad at me or whatever, because if I tell you and you decide to stay or whatever, that's on you. But if you take it out on me, that's something different.
You'll be surprised.
I'm gonna let you be by yourself and be mad.
Girl, love is blind.
But it is what it is.
You'll be surprised.
I'll let you know. I don't care how you feel. I'll let you know.
Absolutely.
You can't never say I didn't let you know.
I'm gonna mind my business.
and then from people, there, yes, I will be like, you know what? I won't say nothing to you again.
Yep.
But see, I haven't had anything to give me like a solid answer on that right now.
And let me tell you this, because I've seen this for myself. The woman knows. She knows something's up in her marriage.
You just confirming
she
already know.
Yeah.
If you really in tune with your spouse, You feel when they move in different, when they speak in different, like, I'm not even gonna say their physical looks different, but I'm just gonna say everything is different. But like, so when somebody comes to you and be like, listen, and it's hard for the person to even tell you the news, and you gonna be like, it's not true. Stop lying.
Right. You have to realize that when it's somebody close like that coming to you with that information, one, they're not just coming to you just because, oh, look, this is some gossip I want to share. They probably sat and tormented with themselves. Like, should I say something? Should I not say something? When it's somebody, even if it's a stranger, honestly, you don't have no loyalty to me. So for you to come and tell me something that, one, like you said, there's been other actions that I already knew. This is just confirmation. Why? I've seen a lot of times where the woman will go up and buck up against the person that gave the information instead of their spouse. But that's funny because I was on Twitter today and there was a clip of some show. I'd never seen the show before. They said it's called Black Mirror, season 5, episode 1. Yeah. It's called Striking Vipers. I never watched it.
I watched that
the lady
episode.
Was in the diner with her husband. She was like, so what's different? She was like, so what's wrong? Is it me? He was like, no, I always want you. She was like, I don't get the small touch on my back while I'm in the kitchen. I don't get the squeeze of my shoulder. Like, us as women, we know everything.
And guys don't
niggas
realize
are so
it.
routine. Like, we
guys
know.
Don't realize that. And then when you say something about it, it's like, oh my God, I don't even want to get into it. But it's like when you say something about it, it's like you're nagging and like
you're tripping.
What are you talking
but
about?
It's like, nigga,
right.
I'm literally only saying to you, you used to do this and you don't do that anymore at all. Is everything
so what
cool?
has changed?
But
everything cool.
But I've seen vice versa that guys know you like a book too. So
true.
When you may not answer a call or something, oh, you're moving funny. Like, you moving funny.
But the thing about us, we smart. We make sure that we not moving funny.
Right.
That is not super noticeable.
Exactly.
It is so noticeable when you switch up. It's so noticeable.
Yeah. And so it's just so funny how all that. I'm going to actually watch the show and see what it's about.
So
you know what happens.
Black Mirror is like
Tell
a
me
bunch
what
of different things.
Right, it's a bunch of different.
That's what they said. It's not like a consistent
different.
season.
No,
it's different.
It's a different episode every time, and that particular episode is like
it's like a bunch of like different experiments.
Right.
Honestly.
So it's the guy and the girl. He's a loving husband, but then his best friend has this video game. One night they play the video game, and the best friend switches. They're both playing boys in video game and they're fighting and stuff. The best friend switches to a girl and then the
video game is having sex
with each other. So then they love it. So every night they're having sex.
role playing with each other.
Right.
The husband
so
and the best
every night
friend.
they're having sex with each other in the video game. So then he, he feels so guilty. He stops. He really does stop the little things he does with his wife. So one night they decided to meet up and see if this is a real thing. So they kiss each other. And it wasn't what they thought it would be. So they didn't like it. However, I think they got arrested because they fought each other. So the wife picks him up and he tells the wife. So they decided to do it like once a month. And the wife...
the best friend and the husband decided to meet up once a month?
No, to do the video game once a month. After telling the wife and,
Okay.
So within this time of, being neglected, the wife went out and she was looking good and she was at a bar and someone approached her. So that made her feel good again. But she didn't do anything because she was married. Okay. So once after the guy got arrested and, they talked about what it was, the wife decided... You know what? You can have your video game and I'm going to go out.
Right, with this other person.
Just, go to the bar and pick up somebody. It was a very interesting episode.
That's weird.
I've been saying for the longest I want to check it out because they talk about like a lot of different episodes when I listen to the Fringe Zone. So I always say I'm going to check it out. But
because I saw her in that
yet.
clip, it made me intrigued to watch the episode. And when I saw it, I was like, oh. Wow.
Whoa.
But yeah, it'd be like some crazy stuff up here. Because I think that's the one
wild.
like
sci-fi.
I don't know if I told y'all about it before about the experiment about pushing somebody like off the roof or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
So that's the show. It's on Netflix.
I need to watch this. I need to watch
it's
it.
It's literally like a bunch of different.
Right. It's on Netflix. It's
kind of like what would you do, but in
real life. Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
Intensified.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, any more topics you guys got?
I did, but we don't have much time, so we won't get into it.
We can start it.
No, it just really is
it
like
looks
about,
interesting the way you
about the
smiling.
whole like the protect black women thing. Like I got on Facebook or Twitter yesterday or the day before, and like this girl, she put up a post and it said, "If I die, I want everyone to know it was Seti Yasan. He goes by Seti, da 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 da. Me and him dated until a few days ago. He went through my phone and I ended the relationship. I dropped him off at the train station and he showed up at my house." So she like sends screenshots and she's just talking about like this guy like threatening, you know, being really like aggressive and threatening, and she's scared or whatever.
Right.
In the feed, there are so many guys that are like, "Well, what did he find in your phone? What did you do? Oh, yeah. Wait, the kicker is one of them was like, y'all bitch play too many games and think you can let go when you want."
Like I can't.
It's just so crazy how it's just so much of what did you do? Well, what was in your phone? Because why would he act like that if that was in your phone? And then she's like, "Listen, we didn't break up because he found something in my phone. I broke up with him because I didn't like the invasion of privacy or whatever of him going through my phone. And he's wilding." My thing is, there's no justification for a nigga threatening to take your life or assaulting you. And this goes both ways, because then it was like, oh, chicks can bust out windows and slash tires all the time.
No, they can't.
And be girls in the comments like, "Go sis," and it's like, no.
We're just as dumb.
No. And honestly, it's like, when you do have chicks that's doing it, you do have chicks that be wild and that actually are violent. We know that. But a lot of times when you have these girls that's just slashing tires, they just slashing tires. You talking about a nigga breaking at my house and telling me that wherever I go, he's gonna find me?
Right. Yeah.
Like, how are those even compare?
And that's not love, ladies. That's not love.
It's just like the guys feel so like entitled. And I was on Facebook in a social complex group. And it was I forgot what the post was, but one of the comments was about, she was saying how she was in a grocery store and she had like this dress for work or whatever. And this guy was like kind of like looking at her weird in the aisle, so she went to another aisle. And then he like blocks her in with his carriage. And he's like, "Oh, I saw you looking thick, but I wanted to come see for myself. And
what?
I see you got your boobs out, your breasts look good." Like, just wild.
Oh, no.
Like, just wild. Like, why do people think that's okay?
I think I just seen Ritz just posted something like, "Yo, you
Ritz,
telling me,
saying that a lot too,
you
lately.
telling me how you want to eat me out or something like that."
Because she posted a picture of her bathing suit.
It's not the way that you tell somebody that you're interested in them or something like that. Like, just very bold and
it's not flattering at all.
It's not.
It's
just
sick.
Like, so crazy how, and then they wonder why we're like saying protect black women. It's because we're not protected.
Yeah, that's wicked.
And it's because when something happens, it's like, what did you do? When John Brown gets shot down in the street, we're not saying what did he do.
No,
we're just saying
we're fighting.
We want justice for him being shot in the street for no reason.
Right, exactly. It's alarming that
there
are a lot of people with that mentality. Like, you're obligated to give your phone number, or you know how they say in New York, like, listen, if a nigga asks you for your phone number in New York, just give it to him, because they're gonna curse you up your ass. I'm like, you bum bitch and da 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 da. Like, that's sad that that's literally a thought. Like, I don't know. It's stressful. It's very stressful.
Like, one of the guys on the girl's status on Twitter was like, you know, blah, 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 men like that are dangerous. And another dude was like, he puts in quotation, "Men like that are dangerous. Wow." Yes. What do you mean? Wow. Yes. Men
like,
who
how are you not surprised?
It was a video of him like breaking her window and like trying to get in her house. Like, yes, men like that are dangerous. What are you
those kind of guys?
Those people be showing their true colors on them comments and stuff.
Honestly,
you be like, "Oh, okay, duly noted."
Right.
Those kind of guys are very insecure and possessive, and when they get a girlfriend, they think you're their property. Yeah. So therefore, they act as such. But
just like the guy who,
toxic.
First of all, there's so many layers to this. The man shoots his wife in the garage due to lack of sex. White man. Then he leaves and shoots his neighbors. It was a girl that was 29 and another young girl, she's 12, because they were bad neighbors. Shot 40 rounds at the police and then was put into custody. One, how you shooting 40 rounds at the cops and able to be in custody and like, still alive? What? And literally stuff like that happens all the time. You know, I be up late on Friday night, so I be watching like the unsolved mysteries and all that type of stuff. There's really men that will do stuff like that just because they feel like it's
baby
scary. Right. And that's like a lot of people was like, "Oh, get off Twitter, stop recording and call the cops." It's like, nigga,
wait, what?
Like,
Nowadays, you need to record. Just like when you get pulled over, you need to record it too. So what are you talking about?
We all watch Law and Order.
Yeah.
We all watch TV. We know that until something physically happens to you, when it's a domestic
they
thing,
always say there's nothing I could do about it.
There's really nothing that they're doing for you.
Yeah. You call the cops and you look at all the times where it's like, I called the cops, I put in a report, nobody did nothing, and then the woman ends up dead.
And
it's like, well, damn.
Yeah, and then that's when they're like, dag, we need to protect black women and
protect me before I'm dead.
And that's my thing. Protect me before, because this chick is on Twitter basically crying for help, letting you know this is what's happening, and everybody is like trying to justify his actions.
That happened to the girl that just passed away
in Bridgeport.
No, young girl.
She had a birthday.
She was an activist. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Happened to her. She posted it and everything. Next thing you know, the same man killed her.
Right. Oh yes.
It's just like so. Like I was seeing that, and then I was seeing the stuff on Facebook. This was like so frustrating.
It's draining.
Our life really doesn't matter. Before we fight for Black Lives Matter, like Black women,
we gotta matter, because we are the ones that
we are the
hard.
Backbone.
Right.
Yeah.
We are the backbone.
Really
and we don't
matter.
get that same thing in return.
And Lori had posted it and was saying how, Vanity Fair put Breonna Taylor on their cover, and you're acknowledging that it's wrong, but nobody's still holding these people accountable. These police accountable.
Right.
Like, don't be mesmerized or just be a part of, this
hashtag,
person and the hashtag, but actually help to do something. So if you haven't signed a petition yet, I done signed mad of them. Please do so. You can call the different officials and say, we demand justice. Like, go that extra step.
But in that case, I don't understand why it's taking so long to indict.
They're trying to half-ass it.
These officers, like,
I'm not understanding.
You investigate, you see it was a wrongful shooting. Now indict them.
And the general attorney was on the Republican convention for Trump. So, I mean, that's that. But,
Yeah, that's one of the situations that I'm just not understanding why nothing has moved.
It's been months, bro.
And honestly, if they did indict them, I wouldn't be surprised on Trump's last day, he would give them a pardon.
We're gonna see. Hopefully, I'm still praying. Like, those are different. That one situation, that's in my daily prayers. Like,
yeah, definitely,
it's a part of my prayer, because at this point, it's ridiculous.
It is,
and just the protection of Black lives, period, but especially Black women, like you said, because this is a scary world out here. I'm actually happy for Corona, because I just be in the house.
Just stay in the house, right?
Because it's just a lot going on. People are just losing their marbles, and it's just really weird out here in these streets.
More than they already were.
Right, exactly. It was already bad.
It's like the marbles are falling
right now. It's worse. Oh.
But yeah,
God bless us all.
That was a nice little pull up. We had a lot of great conversation.
Yeah, I missed you guys. Just chit chatting with you guys,
chatting away about randomness. Yeah. Make sure you guys listen, rate, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on this episode. Let us know if there's any topics that you want us to talk about. And we love you. Thank you for tuning in.
If you are interested in being a guest on our episode, make sure you click the link in our bio and fill out our guest inquiry form.
Yes, perfect. And Joe, end us on a positive vibe.
God bless us. Honestly, that's all I can say. Like, our world is just, our leaders are going crazy. The free world leader is going crazy.
It's just crazy.
We have this disease that's taking over the nation that is stopping us from doing what we do on a daily basis. God, the blood of Jesus protect us.
Lord, yes, Lord.
Amen. I touch and agree.
Amen. Touch and agree. See you guys later.